Hello, I'm still Callum Perrin, and this is the conceptual video for Project 2. As mentioned, I did the energy consumption tracker. I imported some libraries that went a little bit off of the predicted libraries here, but these were ultimately necessary as I was learning the documentation and needed to do things that the current libraries and functions could not provide. So this whole first section is just calculating variables and learning how to manipulate the data frame with pandas and NumPy to sort of grab different qualities or quantities and mess around with them. And you'll see for data for the energy and for the cost down below, I created a new column within the data frame to use it later on when creating the report. So yeah, you'll see that there as well. And this whole thing is just, again, calculating the cost, creating variables. And then here, I learned how to use matplotlib to create the graph and the pie chart. And I had to mess around with the color scheme, specifically for the pie chart, and the sizing of the two. And another thing was also the labels. They were all jumbled and overlapping, so I had to learn how to clean that up. And then here, I learned how to create a PDF using ReportLab and how to build a story and eventually execute that story or put it all together. The table was probably the most time-consuming thing to learn there. And then down here, as I mentioned in the demonstration, I did not wrap the previous programming in functions, so I had to find a way to take new input in an unknown amount or unknown quantity and still end up adding it and getting the desired result. So I did that through user input. I asked how many devices they wanted to add. You can see this is all variable. It could have asked this a million times if they wanted to add a million items. Well, I don't know if the computer could actually process that, but yeah, so this is what I used, and what it does is it runs this append block and adds it to all new devices, and then it concatenates all new devices with the original data frame. And then it runs all the same code, just with different variable names to not mix up variables. And as you saw in the demonstration, it worked.